Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share this video. Thank you. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I achieved this baby girl look. So first things first, I groomed the brows, cleaned the face, and then I went into my skin prep. So for my skin prep, I'll be using the MADIVA school spray, then work it in with my hands, and then go in with my MSMETICS moisturizer. My skin prep for this look was very few. I didn't do a lot of skin prep because I wanted to do an easy skin prep that could serve the purpose. Okay, so I'm just gonna be making use of hydrating spray, moisturizer, primer, milk primer, and the Beckel primer. Okay, I'm making use of the milk hydro grip primer. This is a hydrating primer that helps your makeup stay in place, and it creates a clean canvas for your makeup application. So I prefer to use my hands when applying this because when I use brushes it tends to ball up. Okay, so for my foundation I'll be using the HEGAI and ESTHER foundation and Born This Way or Too Faced foundation, however you know it. So these two foundations, I had to mix them together to get her exact shade and undertone. Okay, then I'll be using the Nia Beauty primer spray to melt my foundation so I can easily blend it. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll realize that for every process video I make, you will always see this primer spray in it because it's very good. Like, it's just does like half of the job for you when it comes to foundation blending. It helps your foundation blend easily and then makes it last longer on the face. Okay, now look at that skin match. Can you see it, guys? Like 100/100. Now for concealer, I'm using the ELF I think it's camouflage concealer also. I'm using it on her T-zones and the area that I need to highlight. Okay, so I'm just going to apply this lightly. Now that's the concealer, ELF concealer. Then I'll go in with my YANGA Beauty concealer in shade 03 in the outer corners, just to give it a little warmth. And now I'm blending in with my Real Technique brush, and as usual start blending from the outer corners before you get into the inner corners. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just gonna blend. Now I'm going in with my beauty blender to just blend everything in completely. Make sure there are no harsh lines. And this beauty blender is from Cindy's Creation on Instagram, one of the best I've used so far. Now I'm going in with the lighter concealer. This concealer is from Tarte concealer, I think in the shade medium. So I'm just gonna apply it on the inner corners and blend it in with my beauty blender. This is a very full coverage concealer, so a little is enough. You don't need to take too much, you don't need to apply too much. If not, you might find it difficult to blend it. Okay, so I'm just going to blend it in with my beauty blender. Just spread it under the eyes and make sure it's evenly blended, guys. So next I'm going in with my cream blush from Tehila Cosmetics. This is my go-to cream blush every day, anytime, any day. So I'm using the beauty blender, the same beauty blender, the end part of it, to just apply the cream blush on her cheeks. This is Rosy Cheeks cream blush palette from TARTE Cosmetics. Okay, so I'm applying it lightly because I'm not really heavy on blush. I'm not a blush person, so just applying it and making sure I'm blending it at the same time. So next, I'm using my MK Beauty brush, to apply my setting powder under the eyes. Okay, so I'm using I mixed two setting powders. I mixed the YANGA Beauty setting powder and the Gentle Dove setting powder. They are both my favorite products. These two setting powders are my go-to, like I always use them both for bridals and studio appointments. Okay, so I'm just using this brush because I don't want to use so much product, so I'm just trying to curtail the quantity of product I apply at a particular point in time. So this brush helps me spread it evenly and helps me manage, or should I say manage the quantity of product I'm meant to apply at a particular point in time. Now I'm going to powder the brows, then just beneath the eyes to create like a defined eyed look before I go in to draw my brows or do my contour, highlight, what's it called, set the whole face with powder or whatever I'm gonna do. A lot of people use powder, pressed powder first for their setting, but whichever works for you. Sometimes I do that too, sometimes when I want to achieve something different, but then depends on what you want. So for my powder, I think I used what powder did I use? I think I used the SEPHORA powder in 35. Yeah, that was what I used to set the whole face. And then this powder brush is from MK Beauty. That brush set is wonderful. I don't know why it's not receiving all the hype it deserves. It's wonderful. It has every single brush you would need for a complete glam look. Now for my bronzer, I'm using the Morphe bronzer, I think in shade Tropical Tan, also Bronze Tan. I've forgotten, I don't have a name offhand, but I'll write it in the description box. So this brush is from Newborn Beauty, and I'm just going to be applying it on the areas I want to contour. This is just to add some warmth to the cheekbones, the forehead, and the bridge of the nose. So I'm just going to be applying this lightly. When you're applying this, you have to make sure your hands are light when you're doing this, so you don't create harsh lines. Okay, so I'm just applying this with my Newborn Beauty brush, then spreading it around her forehead, making sure it is evenly blended. Okay, this is one of my favorite shades from the Morphe bronzer collection. It's really nice. So I'm using the same bronzer for my nose contour, and I'm using a brush from MK Beauty. Like I said earlier, their brush collection has every single thing you need in a brush. So I'm just using, this is shading brush, just small shading brush. It's very good for contour, very good and very easy to use, and it just helps blend the product in immediately as you're applying it. So for the contour, I'm done with it. Next, I'm going in with my blush. I'm using this palette from FRANC and MADIVA. They're on Instagram. I really love this eyeshadow palette because it has everything I need in one palette and has lovely blush. The blushes on this palette are very easy to blend. And next, I'm going to be baking the face. So for the baking, I'll be using just the YANGA Beauty setting powder in the shade Milky. That shade is meant for light skinned people, so just gonna be using it in the areas I highlighted. That's under the eyes, the jaw, the forehead, and the bridge of the nose. So I'm using the same MK Beauty brush that I used to set the whole face the first time. So for my reversed contour, I'll be using the Gentle Dove setting powder just beneath the places I applied my bronzer to. Those are the contoured areas, okay? So I'm just going to allow you guys to enjoy the brow process, then I'll see you guys in a jiffy. So I'm done with the brows. Now for my eyeshadow base, I'll be using the Charm Ageless eyeshadow base. For people that don't know, sorry, this is difference between eyeshadow primer and eyeshadow base. Okay, eyeshadow primers could be transparent, translucent, whatever, but what they do is they elongate the should I say, they make your eye makeup last longer, while for eyeshadow base, they help your eyeshadow to pop better. Okay, so that is the difference between eyeshadow base and eyeshadow primer, as for those that don't know about it. So eyeshadow base are usually in white, nude, or whatever colors, but most times eyeshadow primers are like the normal face primer, like in those kind of translucent shades or colors. That's just to help your eye makeup to last longer. Okay, so for my eyeshadow look, first I'll be using the FUNAGLAMZ eyeshadow. I'll be using this to outline my graphic line. I'm using the brown shade in the eyeshadow palette to do this, and as usual I'm using my MK Beauty brush to do this. I just want to get like a defined outline on the lid. So I'll be doing this on both eyes. I'll be creating this graphic liner on both eyes. I'm done with the first eyes. I'm going to the next one. So I'm using the same brush and I'm using the same technique. So for my second eyeshadow, I'm using the SYLVIMAK eyeshadow palette, the pink nude shade in it. This I'm applying on her lid. Remember the first outline I did was for her crease area, so I'm applying this on her lid just to get the dramatic baby girl look. So I'm using a brush, one of my old brushes. I don't know where I got this from. Okay, I think it's from Vika Bell brush set. So this SYLVIMAK eyeshadow palette does not need any introduction because it is one of the best eyeshadows at the moment. It has zero or little fallout, as you can see, and it's very pigmented. Okay, very pigmented, like you can take my word for it. I'm just gonna apply this carefully, not to go over the outline. It's still trying to stay in the area I've outlined, and I'm just going to be applying it, making sure I'm going straight. Like I'm trying to get like a graphic eye, but I don't want to use colored liners, so I used my eyeshadow palette instead. So for my gel liner, I'm using Polar Beauty's gel liner in jet black. It's a nice one. Yeah, it's smudge proof and it doesn't stain, and it dries and matte. So I'm also using my brush from MK Beauty, just trying to make a little winged eyes. I don't want it very dramatic because the eyes are already very dramatic, so trying to make a simple winged eyes. So for my under eyes, I'm using the NYX Jumbo pencil in white shade. I used this because I wanted to create dramatic look, so I just applied it in the waterlines. And then next I'm going in with my lip pencil from HEGAI and ESTHER Cosmetics. So I'm just using this to outline the lip area, the up and the lower parts. And then I'm going to go in with my lip stain in nude shade to augment everything. It's very important that as you're applying your lip stain, your matte lip stain, you blend almost immediately, because sometimes the lip stain tends to dry out fast, and if you don't blend it out quick, it might be very difficult to blend at the long run. That's why as I'm applying it, I'm blending it in with my blending brush so that I don't have to struggle to blend it later on. I'm applying my lip gloss on the lips. I'm a gloss babe. I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden I can't just do a matte lip anymore. I don't know. So I'm just trying to apply the gloss, and then I'm blending at the same time. And I'm gonna go in with a darker shade of gloss to just make the lips look better. Now I'm done with the lip. I'm going to be using my concealer to conceal around the lip to correct any mistake I might have made while I'm applying my lip gloss or lip stain. So I'm using the same brush I used to conceal her brows, and then I'm just going to blend it. So now I'm going with my powder. This is like the overall blending process. This is the finishing process. So I'm using the same powder brush and the same powders I used to set her face the first time. That is I think SEPHORA in 35. Yeah, and then I think I mixed it with Kat Devon powder. So now I'm going to wipe off the excess powder under her eyes. That's a setting powder, so I can blend in with a lighter shade of powder. So some people just set that area with powder at once, but I always brush off the excess powder before I go in to set. Now I'm going in with my Rosy Cheeks from TARTE Cosmetics. I'm using the pink blush shade in the palette to just tap on her cheeks and bring back some warmth and color to her cheekbones. Okay. So next up is my highlighter. I'm using the highlighter from YANGA Beauty in shade Oh Baby. Yeah, that's the name. I'm just going to tap on it. I don't use so much because I don't like my face very bright or my highlights very bright. So just going to tap on it a little and then tap it on the cheekbone, the jaw, and then a little on the forehead. Then I'm going to use my smaller brush to apply on the bridge of the nose. And that's my brush for the nose. and I'm using my hand to diffuse it into the skin so it doesn't just stand just there. Now I'm going to apply on under her eyebrow area to make the brows stand out. So I'm going to do this on both sides of the face. Next up, my mascara, and I'll spray and we are good to go. So I'm using this mascara from Gentle Dove, Gentle Dove Cosmetics. I'm not really good with under eye mascaras, I don't know why, especially when my client doesn't have lengthy lashes or long under eyelashes. It's one of my least favorite procedure in makeup. Okay, so after that you're gonna be seeing the finished look. So after doing this, I set the whole face, but I think I forgot to capture where I set the whole face with my setting spray. So guys, this is the finished look. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, like this video. Thank you. See you in my next video. Bye.